Wow. Got one already. One of the benefits of doing shorter sessions with higher intensity is that quite often you leave the session wanting to do more, and then it's really easy to motivate yourself to come back for another session. So that's another reason to do retreats with shorter sessions, high intensity. And as you have learned, this being day 3 now, the ability to do more and more things and have more concentration builds up over the course of a few days. So, there's no reason to have knees that are so sore that you can't walk and that sort of thing. Okay. So this whole session will. Yeah, it just becomes normal. Someone said in the chat, every day it becomes a little easier and becomes more normal. And that's exactly right. So if you do this is actually not just my recommendation. If you read the classical texts on meditation from, I think, the 7th up to the 14th century, this is what they recommend. Especially if you're just starting out, which even if you've been doing this 10 years or 20 years and you don't have really high levels of capability, just starting out means you're still somewhere between the first stage and 5th stage of meditation, right? Shorter sessions, high intensity is the way to go, according to the great masters, not just some guy on the internet. Okay. So now that we've built up some strength of capability with regards to body scanning, the 5 points, and full body meditation, let's bring these into a standing position, and then we'll take it into walking. So let's get as deep as we can with full body meditation, and then take it directly into walking meditation, and that's what we'll do for the majority of the session. As before, since I can't see you all on camera, if the walking becomes too much, then return to standing. If you get too tired, you can even sit down for a period of time and then stand back up and carry on walking. It's up to you, but carry on with the main exercise, which is either to focus on the 5 points or to do full body meditation, i.e. to open up the tactile sense gate or to become aware of the full tactile sphere of experience. Okay, so here we go. Set your posture. In brief, you're standing on the railroad tracks between hip distance and shoulder distance, up to you. The perineum is pointing downwards, the tailbone will be pointing slightly back. Natural curvature of the spine in an S. Chest not dropped, not raised, in a natural position. Set the shoulders, make them relax. And then bring the final joint of the head up from the back and bend the knees a touch so that it's easier to balance in this position. Okay, place your awareness in your left toes, pad of the foot, arch and top of the foot, heel, ankle, lower calf, upper calf, knee. Now stretch your awareness from your knee to your toes and fill the entire calf and foot. Let go of that and do the lower thigh, upper thigh. Bring your mind into the hip joint of the left hip. Stretch the awareness from the left hip joint to the tips of the toes on the left-hand side, filling the whole left leg. On the right-hand side, be aware of your toes now, letting go of your left-hand leg, just the toes on the right-hand side. Pad of the foot. Arch and top of the foot. The ankle. The heel. Ankle. The lower part of the calf. Upper part of the calf. The knee. Stretch your awareness from the knee, filling the calf, the ankle, the foot, out to the tips of the toes, and be aware of everything from the knee down on the right-hand side. Release that and be aware of the lower part of the thigh on the right-hand side. Upper thigh. And the hip joint. Now stretch your awareness from the hip joint through the upper thigh, lower thigh, knee, upper calf, lower calf, ankle, into the foot to the tips of the toes, without losing the awareness all the way to the hip joint. Be aware of your entire foot. Now release that. Become aware of your pelvis on the front. Your pelvis in the back. Find your tailbone. For a moment, do your best to try to pull all of your awareness down to the tailbone so that the center of your awareness is in the tailbone. Relax that awareness. Now move to your anus, perineum, and to the sexual organs. Take your time, go through the various parts of the sexual organ. Now, without losing the awareness of the sexual organs, stretch your awareness to encompass the entire pelvic area, front, sides, back, perineum, anus, tailbone, etc. Bring your mind, by just stretching the awareness up, to include the waist region, but don't lose everything in the pelvic region. Stretch the awareness up to include the diaphragm region, but don't lose the other portion of your torso. Stretch the awareness up to include the chest region, but don't lose the rest of your torso. Now hold your awareness on the complete torso. Let that go and move your awareness to your left shoulder. Become aware of the entire left shoulder. Stretch that awareness down to include the bicep area. Stretch it down to the elbow. Stretch to the forearm, wrist, palm and back of the hand, fingers, all the way to the fingertips and nail beds. Now hold the whole left arm. Move your awareness now, letting go of the left arm to the right shoulder. Become aware of the complete right shoulder. Front, top, back, side, armpit. Stretch that awareness down to the bicep. Stretch it to include the elbow. Stretch it to include the forearm, wrist, palm and back of the hand, fingers to the fingertips and the nails. Hold the full right arm. Bring your awareness up now, releasing the right arm into the neck. Be aware of the lower part of the neck, the lower third, including all of the connections that go into the collarbone area and the upper back. Move to the middle of the neck, stretching the awareness to include the middle portion. Stretch your awareness to include the upper portion of the neck. And hold the complete neck for a period of time. Now release the neck and move into the joint between the neck and the skull. And from there, just allow your awareness to expand out to include the ears, forehead, scalp, nose, eyebrows, eyes, the lips and cheeks, chin, jaw, inside of the mouth and throat. And just hold the awareness of the full skull for a moment. Now bring the awareness to the top of the head, wherever you feel the most sensation on the top of the skull, in the scalp area. And from that point, stretch your awareness down to your fingertips on your left hand. Stretch it down again to include the right hand. Stretch it down again to include the left foot, all the way to the toes, heel. Stretch it down to include the right foot, all the way down to the toes, the heel. And hold the 5 points. If this is already a big struggle, then just stick with the 5 points, and you can begin walking and trying to maintain the 5 points. If you feel relatively comfortable with the 5 points, now work on including the rest of the body. And rather than doing that all at once, we can do it a bit like a body scan. So maintain the 5 points and add the left leg. Add the right leg, add the pelvis, add the waist, diaphragm, chest, add the left arm, add the right arm, add the neck, add the skull. Now hold your awareness on the full body. more technique to get the mind to suffuse into the whole body, become aware of everything to the front, everything facing to the left, everything facing to the back, everything facing to the right, everything facing upward, everything facing downward. Now hold the whole body. One more time. Try to do it a little faster. Front, back, left, right, up, down. Hold the whole body. Now, without losing full body awareness, or if that was too difficult, then all you've been doing is the 5 points. Maintaining the 5 points, begin your walking meditation. So walk as slow as you need to maintain either the 5 points or full body awareness. Okay, come to a rest. Place your mind in this area here. So here's my belly button's about here. So the waist down to the pelvis. Breathe into that area for just a few seconds, a few breaths. Place your attention in there. Okay, now some questions are coming through in the chat for those of you who are joining later. Question is, or comment is, while walking with the full body awareness and not the 5 points, it felt quite weird in a sense that space and me were one. I wasn't separate into the space I occupied. I wonder if that's relevant. Yeah, no, there is a huge personal difference between choosing 5 points and holding those actively as an object and letting go of those and allowing your awareness to do nothing except fill the tactile sphere of experience. One of them is still actively resting or holding an object, and the other one is basically just isolating one of your actual natural fundamental minds, which is tactile awareness. So they are very different. The 5 points helps you get to be able to do that more easily. Dividing the body up into pieces helps you do that more easily. Dividing awareness up into 6 directions helps you do that more easily. But ultimately, you just want to rest the awareness without adjusting anything, being aware of the full body, so that you're not doing anything in an important sense, except trying not to fall out of that awareness, right? That's the only thing you're actively doing. Other than that, you're not doing anything. You're just being in the natural condition of that type of cognition, in the most basic form of that type of cognition. You see what I mean? So it doesn't surprise me at all that you have a very different experience of full body meditation versus the 5 points. That makes perfect sense to me. And during my session, I was alternating between them a bit just to see how, do they feel different? What am I sort of experiencing when I'm doing them alternatively? And I actually had a kind of similar experience where I went, oh, wow, yeah, these are actually remarkably different because of what I'm doing with my mind. So it's interesting you brought that point up. Okay, I don't want to take up too much more of the break time with practice. What a shame to practice instead of taking a break, We will pick it up at 6 o'clock, okay? See you at 6.